Hey, Soul Tribe. I'm KamalaDevi here to wish you a happy new year. And since it's the new moon, I've been contemplating what's new, what's alive, what's exciting. I wanted to share. I'm pregnant with this new offering, and it's quite unique and different from a lot of the work that I'm known for. So you may know me as ISTA lead faculty. You may know me because of the reality show. You may know me because of my work in polyamory and sex and relationship coaching. And I am still very much committed to all those expressions, but there's an impulse in the last many months that I've been inquiring and going inward and taking a pause from a lot of my life's work and saying like, ooh, how do I course correct and really find my true north? And one of the deep directives is to offer a love immersion. And so what's a love immersion? I am both excited and kind of tongue-tied about how to describe this. But essentially, it's part of a deeper lineage. And so I want to talk about how the love immersion comes out of the Enlightenment intensive tradition with founder Charles Berner. And there's a whole worldwide community that does this work around the world. But the essence of a love immersion is a deep, not just contemplation into the truth of love, but a dissolving of the conditioning and the false programming about ideas of love. So as you know, love is this immense, mystical, indescribable experience that's so core to being human. And one of the big misguided expressions of love, when the personality loves, it's actually more like need. It's like, oh, I need you to be there for me. I need you to hear me. I need you to like attune to me. And so there's a way that the personality doesn't love, it needs. And it's transactional. It's like, oh, I'll give you my love if I get these needs met from you. And that's how love is at the personality level. And then at the level of the soul, love is this, it's the ground of our being. It's the essence of connection between us and others. And it's a genuine, like, wanting for the evolution of another, not wanting from them, but wanting for them, wanting to, to seed, to support, to gift. In fact, love in the mystic Hebrew context, the Kabbalah, it's like the meaning is to give. It's giving. It's very unconditionally generous. And so I think all of us get that. Like everybody gets that. Oh, unconditional love is so like, it's like a mother's love. It's just pouring forth that nectar, that milk, that nourishment. And then there's the wounded inner programmed self that is, there's a gap between deeply understanding what's possible in love in theory. And then in practice, it's like the more you love someone, the more, they can disappoint you and hurt you and frustrate you. And then love has all these concepts of heartbreak on top of it. And so the love immersion is a, 4-day container, a deep sacred immersion in which we go through a series of tantric meditations to release all of the stuff that we've built up around love that are falsehoods, all of the misconceptions, the past wounding, the history, the like Hollywood movies, the, pop song lyrics that keep us in obsession or whatever it is. It's like we clear through all of that, coming higher and higher into more agape, into more oneness. And it's really a consciousness practice. And it's not a consciousness practice that's disembodied. It's a tantric meditation that brings our fullness, and it brings us into deep connection. So the practice that is core to a love immersion is an enlightenment dyad, which means that it's a partnered sitting, often 40 minutes with contemplations and communication. So it doesn't look like just a pure, empty, silent meditation, but it does include a lot of contemplation and silence. And so we do this 40-minute sit in repetition, through the day, maybe as much as like 8 times in one day for 4 days, which like clears all of the stuff that gets in the way of love, and it starts to connect us to the deepest core sense of who we are. So that whole immersive experience is, as I mentioned, on the heels of a lineage, and that comes from a Zen practice, and it's actually a fusion between both Zen and Yogeshwari, who created this, knew that there were like deep psycho-spiritual inquiries that could accelerate one's spiritual advancement. And so it has meditation, it has inquiry, it has communication, and it's very austere in terms of no crosstalk, no touch, which obviously is in big contrast to a lot of the high touch, deeply sexual, erotic, energetic rituals that I have been doing in the last 10 years or more, actually. But it's important to note that over 15 years ago, I was in the Enlightenment Intensive community, and for 6 years, this was my primary spiritual practice, the Enlightenment Intensives. And so, it's almost like coming full circle. I'm looking back at my spiritual roots and I'm saying, this is what made me who I am. Like, this practice of contemplating love made the biggest impact on my life personally. I've since reoriented my whole life around big love. And when I look at how I did it, it's been this journey from this more consciousness practice, this higher upper chakra practice, down into the depths of the underworld through the shamanic realms that I've traveled in. And then it's coming through to the middle path. So this year in 2023, I'll be offering several of these love immersions, and I'll be doing other introductions to, give people a taste, because it's not for everyone. Like, this is deep, integrated work, embodied and grueling. Like, it's it requires some grit to do this work. And through those introductions, for the people who resonate, we'll be going into the love immersions. One of the questions I got was like, why now? Why am I going back to my roots now? And it's really beautiful to look at, the evolution of one's soul calling, because I think about Hermann Hesse's Siddhartha book, which actually was my favorite book as a teen. And I was just telling my son about it the other day, that Buddha was a prince and he had all the worldly trappings, and he renounced that to go into deep meditation, to go into higher consciousness practices. But he had to let the outer world go. And he realized, he's like, I can't influence the outer world from this place of renouncing. And he came back in and he went deep into the tantric arts. He actually met a sacred whore named Kamala, who introduced him to the tantric arts. And through that, he recognized, wow, I could get really lost in the depths of the sensual realm, and broke through to the middle path. So Buddha's mature teachings and, world-changing practices really are embracing of the higher late states of consciousness, as well as the depths of the embodiment. But there is a caution. If you go too deeply into the sensual and the physical, you get distracted from the pure essence. And so I do feel that the love immersions are an opportunity to tap into the highest frequency of love in a way that's not, it's a pristine container to have that experience. And it's really good to have embodiment experience to bring to it too. So you're not just bypassing. So if this resonates, if you're in San Diego and you want to join me in person, let me know, because I'll be holding invite only and application intimate gatherings. If you're around the world, I'll be looking forward to connecting with you online for love contemplations over the screen. And yeah, I just look forward to hearing what you're creating in the new year and how your love is evolving. Blessings.